Hello and welcome to My Disney Brain. You have reached podcast number, where are we? I think we're number 15 of season 2.
Yes.
Season 2, show 15. So we've got quite a few shows under our belt at this point. So welcome aboard. If this is your first time, please make sure wherever you found us, wherever you're listening to us right now, go ahead and lock it in, subscribe, or click whatever button that they have there, so you know the next time when My Disney Brain is on or has uploaded new content, you'll be the first to be able to enjoy that. And for those of us and those of you who have been with us since day one, thank you for continuing to support the podcast. Each week our numbers are growing and growing and growing, and we really enjoy that. We enjoy putting this content together and giving it to you, our listeners, especially in a day and age where, we're not where we want to be most of the time, which, of course, are the parks. We're going to talk a little bit about that today, but just wanted to welcome you aboard. We've got a really good show planned for you today. It is a quarantine savvy type of show.
Yes.
For those of you who are old enough to understand this reference, I told it to my youngest daughter, and she looked at me as if I had two heads. So it's going to be sort of a Calgon type of show today, where our goal is very simple. We understand that times have been relatively tough for all of us for one reason or another, and we want to talk to you today about some movies and some things that we do to sort of remedy some of that. Obviously, none of that's going away through watching a movie, but we do have a lot of times in front of our devices, now in front of our TVs. So we want to help you make good use of that. And we're going to recommend our top 3 movies, remedies, our Calgon therapy session today through Disney Plus. So we're going to have a Take Me Away Disney Plus movie discussion today on My Disney Brain. So sit back and relax, and actually grab you a pen if you don't have your phone nearby, so you can take some notes, because some of these you definitely want to take note of, because you may not have seen them, and you may want to just kind of check them out. So before we get started, I do want to say again, thank you guys for joining us. We have a full show planned, and please remember to continue to follow us on our social media platforms. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram at My Disney Brain. We're pretty active on both, so we try to provide you with all the updates and different things that are out in the open in terms of news, so that you can stay up to date in regard to what's going on for Walt Disney World. Now, in addition to that, something that My Disney Brain is doing new this week is promoting other podcasts. We are sort of cross-promoting. So we will tell you about 2 other podcasts that are Disney-related, in hopes that you will go and check them out and support them. We have been engaged in conversations with these other podcasts, and if we can, we certainly want to always help folks grow as we're growing. So I'm going to give you 2 today. The first is called Lockdown with WD, and the young lady's name is Sarah. And I think it's relatively new. I think she's about on 14th or 15th episode, but I did check it out, and it is really an informative podcast. So if you're looking for a new Disney challenge, you can join Sarah on her new podcast, Lockdown with WD, where during the lockdown, she started to watch all of the films Disney has ever released in chronological order. So that's interesting. Yes, she's going for all 400 plus of them. Well, bless her heart. Not only does she give her own thought on each episode, she also looks at the origins of each story and digs out facts and theories about each film. So join her, and as she reveals the Disney Fun, Lockdown with WD is a Chili D audio podcast, and it can be found on Spotify, iTunes, and wherever you are currently listening to this podcast right now. So again, that is Lockdown with WD. So lockdown is 2 separate words. So when you're Googling or searching it, you'll be able to find it. But Sarah seemed really, really nice. So please go and check her out and show her some support. The second podcast is called Where Streams Come From. Where Streams, Streams, come from. Where Streams Come From is a media review podcast by the cast of Studio 76, where we suffer through the entire catalog of Disney Plus. Each week, a random title from the streaming service is selected and reviewed, from blockbuster hits to animated sequels to titles with outdated cultural depictions. Oh my goodness. Join us as we discuss the history of the Disney company and discover brand new content. The vault has been swung wide open for better or for worse. You can find us on social media, YouTube, and whatever podcaster and podcatcher you prefer. Audience members can submit their own movie reviews and suggestions for each category for us to spin to decide what to watch next. Which can be a category that has your favorite movie in it, or one that you know that will make us lose our minds. We hope you enjoyed listening. So basically, they go through Disney Plus, every movie it looks like, and they are randomly reviewing them. So that seems fun. So if any of that sounds interesting, I would encourage you to please go out. The first is Locked Down with WD, and the second is Where Streams Come From. So if you like my Disney brain, please support these other podcasts. They're doing the same for us. They're going to be reading promotions on their podcast on behalf of us. So we wanted to do the same for them. Again, we're just trying to help cross promote. Now, all the business is out of the way. I have the girls in the studio with me today. Hello, Nia.
Morning.
It is not the morning, but hello, Imani.
Hello.
So we are the crew that are going to provide our top 3 Disney Plus films today. And I'm saying films, but it can be TV also. But we're going to do our Calgon, Take Me Away, Disney Plus therapy session for you, in hopes that although we are going through difficult times, that some of these suggestions would, at least for an hour and a half, 2 hours, help ease some of the concerns that we're facing and just kind of take you away. Again, those of you who are in my age bracket know the Calgon commercial for years, and I always get this picture of this lady in the tub, and she's just kind of relaxing and these sorts of things. So that's kind of the effect we want these TV shows and Disney movies to have for you today as we suggest them. So let's get started. Now, we're going to do 3 apiece like we always do, our top 3.
Okay.
And who wants to start?
Me. I was born first.
Okay.
Okay. So, my first movie that it is actually a movie that I would recommend is Meet the Robinsons.
Okay, Meet the Robinsons. Now,
Yes.
Meet the Robinsons is animated, right?
Yes.
And that was with Robin Williams.
I don't know if that's the case, but we can double check.
No, I'm pretty sure Robin Williams was the main character, the guy that was trying to leave his area and go into the city. And okay, we don't have to go into that.
I don't think you're thinking of the correct movie.
Oh, Meet the Robinsons with the family, with the guy with the glasses, the kid with the glasses?
Yes, and he's trying to get adopted.
And it's animated?
Yes.
I'm not that. What am I thinking about?
I don't know, because you're wrong. But
But
Meet
you know
the
what I'm talking about?
Robinsons.
The ones with the robots?
You're thinking about Robots, the movie. Meet the
my Lord.
Robinsons.
Where did I get that from?
Listen. Meet the Robinsons, for those who do not know, kind of the gist of it is about this little boy, this human boy. He's an orphan. But he also is an inventor. So while he's in the orphanage, he's trying to, of course, get adopted, but he's also making all these different inventions, which eventually lead to him time traveling and going on an adventure in and of itself with the time travel. And it's a great family movie. I watch it all the time with the dog, and I think that it's a good movie in terms of positivity, especially for the current times. It's actually my fiance's favorite movie, and I kind of started watching it more and more as he and I started dating more and more. But his favorite thing about the movie is the overall theme of it, which you hear throughout the film, which is keep moving forward. They say that throughout the film. More and more, they say keep moving forward. And so right now, I feel like that's kind of the mindset that we have to have is keep moving forward. And as you watch the movie, it's a feel-good movie. It's a motivating movie. And I mean, all around, it's a good story.
Yeah. I obviously have to go back and pull it up because when you said, now I know what you're talking about now, but why did that Robots movie just come to my mind so quickly like that? That's crazy. Yeah, okay, cool. I go with all that. I just haven't seen it in a while. And it's animated, and that was out around when? You remember when that was? Like in the 90s or early 2000s?
No, this is like after 2010.
Meet the Robinsons?
Yeah.
All right, so here's what I'm about to do. I'm just going to pull it up real quick on Disney Plus and look at this and like, why am I missing this?
How do you not remember this? Didn't Cameron used to watch it?
No, Cameron used to watch Robots, which is probably why he thought about Robots.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not something I watched a whole lot, but I have seen it. No, this wasn't something that Cameron really liked, but I probably only saw this once or twice.
It's a good movie, though. It kind of talks to kids and, like, trying and not being afraid to fail and keep moving forward.
So it's an inventor.
Yeah.
Okay. Time traveling and that sort of stuff. 2007 is when it was.
Oh, the year that you were born.
Lovely.
2007 is the year that it came to us through Disney. Okay, so Meet the Robinsons. All right, cool beans. All right, Nia, what is your first one?
Okay, so this this is a show series. It's not a movie.
Okay.
But it doesn't really fit into like your relaxing picture. I like it because it makes me laugh. It's a comedy.
Well, that's good. That's good remedy also, laughter.
Yeah. Okay, so it's The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. If you're
that's a good one.
Right? If you're gonna watch this, you have to watch The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody before you watch the On Deck series.
Yeah.
That's the only way you're gonna understand it. But it's great. This is a comedy. This is a classic. If you have any children that were born after 2015, they have to watch it because the shows now on Disney Channel are not as great as they were before. So if they have not seen it, they need to watch it. And it has given me my favorite line off of Disney Channel to this day.
Which is?
It's a scene, it's the episode where Mr. Mosby asked the twins to, like, watch this lady, and they lost her, and he got really mad. So he was in the lobby. He was like, how do you lose a woman? And Cody was like, you forget to cherish her.
You forget to cherish her.
Okay. So Sweet Life, I think I remember this one. I don't want to go off the rails on this one.
I used to watch that one all the time.
We all watched that.
I think all you guys watched it. Mm-hmm. This was the one. Was it this one when they were on that ship?
That's the second part.
That's the second part.
They start out in a hotel. Their mom is the singer for the hotel, and so they live in the hotel.
I remember that one. They live in a hotel, and what was the girl that she was really prissy? And
London.
Yeah.
She her dad owned the hotel, but she just wasn't the brightest crayon in the box.
Okay, she went on to do a lot of stuff with Disney, right? And
her name was Brenda Song.
She had to be pretty big. Mm-hmm. Now the brothers, yes. What are they doing now? Do you know?
They're still acting. You know, one of them played Jeffrey Dahmer.
No, I didn't know that.
Yes, one of them. I want to say because they are twins, Cole and Dylan Sprouse. One of them, I want to say it was Cole. He went on. If you look on Amazon Prime. He went on to play Jeffrey Dahmer in a movie called My Friend Dahmer.
I've heard of that movie. I think I saw it on. You said Netflix?
No, Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, it's so many of these things. Sometimes I see stuff and I don't remember where I saw it. I actually got to the point now where I have to write.
I actually watched it. It wasn't bad. It's not a horror movie because I'm pretty sure people are thinking, "Oh my God, Jeffrey Dahmer." It kind of goes into like him as a teenager before he became
who
himself.
He was.
So, but yeah, one of those kids plays him.
So Neil, you said in a little bit like why you recommended this because it made you laugh.
Yeah, I don't know about other people. I don't like relaxing when I'm like uncomfortable or agitated. I need a laugh. I need something else to like occupy my mind.
Right.
Otherwise, I'm going to overthink consistently. So I need to laugh.
That is a form of relaxation.
And this made you laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do recall this, and all of the kids watched this at some point. So this one I'm familiar with. And it is You said Sweet Life
Of Zach and Cody.
of Zach and Cody, and watch that first. And what's the second one?
Sweet Life of Zach and Cody on deck.
Sweet Life on Deck is the second one. So watch them in that order. And as we go through these, anything else you want to say about that before I go to the next one?
No.
Okay. So as we're going through these, if you've not used Disney Plus a lot, well, let's start at the very beginning. If you don't have Disney Plus, it's $6.99 a month, and you just simply go to DisneyPlus.com and register and sign up there. Now, you can add on ESPN and Hulu and all this other jazz and get up to about $12.99 a month, but you don't necessarily have to do that for what we're doing today. And besides, most people, I think, already have Hulu, and really, why do you need ESPN at this point?
Yeah.
So I just recommend, just the Disney Plus. Now, if you do have Disney Plus and you've not done a whole lot with it, you just kind of maybe put some some movies in the queue, and you get around to them when you will. I want to give you an easy way to kind of navigate what we're doing, because I started off just kind of going through the recommended and the new to Disney Plus and just kind of what they have on the front screen. Well, it's limited there. You're not going to see a whole lot, particularly if you're not using the app a lot. So here's what you do. So the movies that we're recommending, they're probably not going to be recommended to you on the face screen. So this may seem a little intuitive, but I just want to make sure we're covering all bases. Just go up to the very top and hit search. Or actually, you can do one or two things. You can hit search, obviously, and type in the movie, and the movie will appear. But probably only that movie will, and whatever they recommend after that. But if you want to just see all the movies or all the originals or all the series, up at the very top, just hit movies, and all of the movies will come up. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because I was looking for a particular movie, and I knew it was a nostalgic, open the vault type situation, and I just couldn't find it. And I said, well, where would this thing be? So I just hit movies, and all of a sudden, a plethora of things just opened up. Now, you do have to go through them, but the good thing is they're laid out in alphabetical order. So if you're looking for something a little older, you don't see it on the face of the app, then hit movies, and it'll take you to where all the movies are. So that's just ease of operation. Now, to my first one. I'm really glad you guys named what you named, because we're going to have three very different first ones. Because mine is neither a movie nor a TV show. It's more of a documentary.
Okay.
Because I like nature stuff. And I think that a lot of people do like nature. Sometimes you just want to get away from the human animal and maybe spend some time with, the animal animals, because, they seem to know how to treat each other a lot better sometimes.
But you have two animals here.
Yeah, I do. So as you're aware, or maybe you're not, last year we reported a few times when this deal was going through with Hulu and with Disney, and Disney became the primary shareholder with Hulu, and Disney now has Hulu. In addition to this buyout, they got some other properties. They got National Geographics when all the dust settled. Part of National Geographics are these really great documentaries on animals, as it would be, right? So two things I'm going to offer to you for the sake of just family. And one, I'm going to do one for family and one for education, because actually they're two different things. I'm going to cheat and do two, because otherwise I'm gonna have too many at the end. So can I cheat and just do two?
If you insist,
okay.
Father.
All right. I wrote two down, and I couldn't determine which one I wanted to do. One is the animal documentary. The first one is Wild Sri Lanka.
Oh, I saw. That's new.
It is very new.
I saw that under new releases. I haven't watched it yet, but I did
see
it.
Wild Sri Lanka. It's one of these deals where, how do I say this? Like, sometimes I'll say, you know what? You know why Polynesia is my favorite resort?
Because of the Dole Whip.
Well, that. But when I was a kid, I always wanted to go to Hawaii. I realized that Polynesia isn't Hawaii. but it is the essence of, or the beginning of, some semblance of French Polynesia.
Yes.
You move further west, you got Tahiti and Fiji and all these other things. Well, I didn't know in my mind if I ever thought I'd ever go.
Yeah.
So I became so fascinated with Disney's Polynesian because it was the closest thing that I thought maybe I would ever get to. Mm-hmm. And it was, in my mind, I mean, I've never been there, so I don't know how authentic it is, but I tend to think it's relatively authentic. Mm-hmm. And as it can be, right? Let's just put it in as it can be. And so I became really gravitated. I gravitated toward French Polynesian to Disney's Polynesian Resort Spa. Now, no offense to people who are Polynesian and are probably like, Kelly,
They're
that is not even close. Yeah, I get that.
We're not the same.
I get it. But for a kid who grew up in a very rural part of South Carolina, God bless that kid. He dreamed of going to Hawaii, and palm trees and coconuts and things like that were something that were certainly not native to him. So I just gravitated toward Polynesian. So I said all that to say this. While Sri Lanka may not be on many people's vacation list.
Yeah.
Right? But here's this documentary. And if you like elephants, you like culture, you like people, I mean, it's just a great way to experience that region, especially if you may never go.
Yeah.
If you may never go. You can see a different, side of the world. You can really witness a different culture. And that's another thing. I hope the girls would agree, and not just saying it because we're on the podcast. I hope that between me and their mom that we fostered a idea of appreciation for all cultures. And whenever we travel, I'll give you a perfect example. When we, you guys weren't with us at that time. We went to Miami, and we were in a hotel.
Yeah, we were not there.
And I was like, man, I want some Cuban food.
You love Cuban food.
I absolutely, and this is how I started loving Cuban food. This is how I started loving it.
You do love Cuban food.
I had never had Cuban food, and this is years ago.
Nia was not born. Nope.
She wasn't born yet? Okay, so this was at least 13, 14 years ago. So we go to a conference in Miami, and we're, down next to South Beach. I forgot where we were staying. But anyway, so wherever we were in a hotel, and I just decided we're in Miami, close to Little Havana, and I want Cuban food. So my wife is like, well, just go ask the concierge. I said, oh, no. I'm going to ask the person that was, taking our stuff to the room, a bellhop. I identified a person who was of Cuban origin, in other words, and said, where do you eat? Because I wanted authentic Cuban food. The concierge was not he may have given me a decent recommendation.
I've asked many a concierge, and they have pointed me in the direction.
Well, okay, maybe that's not the best example, but here's my point. I wanted to experience the people, and I wanted to experience the culture, including the food. So when I go to different regions, I try to find where the people are going and just follow the crowd. Yeah. So if you come to Atlanta and you ask me where to get certain stuff, American Deli.
Okay. J.R. Crickets.
There was a time when I could tell you where to get whatever you was trying to get. Now it's not that time, though. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, I stumbled through that example, but I think that people understand. So anyway, Wild Sri Lanka is the first one. The second one is this. Second one I think you're going to like because it is educational, it's somewhat funny, and it is very interesting. So, before I leave Wild Sri Lanka, Wild is like the title of a few different documentaries. So there's a Wild Sri Lanka, there's a Wild Congo, there's a Wild Africa. So I would say if you're going to get into those series, just take a look at them all, especially if you have little ones. I mean, if you like gorillas and animals and, they've got elephants and all sorts of things that they show and report on. So pretty awesome.
Is this the one with the birds?
No. So
I just want to make sure because you're like, if you have children, they should watch
Oh
this.
my goodness.
Is this one when the penguin dies?
No, the
No,
one
no,
where,
no,
like,
no,
the
no,
bird
no.
falls
I
off the
would
cliff.
not.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the
what I
last
mean.
thing we want to do. No, again, we're doing a Calgon take us away type of therapy session here
Feel
for folks.
good, Nia.
A feel good session. We don't want to
We don't
traumatize
want to
people.
see the birds die.
Well, okay, you bring up a good point. So National Geographic is
that in
not
fact?
editing this stuff out. So when you see like,
It's a circle. of
Something
life.
getting eaten.
well, there's something on there like,
It's
man, what is the
really
name of it?
getting
It's like the violent something, but it was really real, and it was very traumatizing because
Traumatizing seems like a very strong word.
very what?
It's nature.
Right.
It's nature, but it was like real nature.
Yeah.
Like, I have 5, baby birds this morning, and in the evening I got 2 left. That was really like,
I think that's what you would call it. Is bad
oh
parenting.
my goodness.
It is, in fact, the circle
So
of life.
just okay. So when I was talking about, it's called Hostile Planet. So it's just beware that Hostile Planet.
That sounds like it wouldn't, no surprises there, Dad.
Well, listen, I think
Hostile Planet.
the authenticity of what National Geographic is known for is the transparency in terms of how they report their stories. And it's shot
apparently
very
label
well.
them.
Well, listen, I don't know what to tell you. They've got a lot of good things on there. I'm going to talk about National Geographic again on my last one. But the wild Africa, the wild Sri Lanka, and the wild what's the other one I said?
Congo.
Those I would recommend.
Okay.
Just kind of keep your hand on the remote. I don't know if fight breaks out between 2 chimpanzees or something, or one of these that I didn't catch.
We don't know how it's going to end.
Well, no, it actually is it is a feel-good situation in that you come away learning about other cultures, learning about other, parts of the world, and how people survive and how the animals survive. I actually like it, so I wouldn't recommend it otherwise. So, okay, let me move on to the second one so we can get going. Now, this is what I say you're going to like. It's going to be fun for the family, and I think you're going to learn something.
I know what this is.
This is called, the guy from the... How did you know?
I don't know.
Because I
wanna
guessed
know.
it.
So one of the guys that is a comedian, what is it, Keenan and Peele? I think it's Peele is this guy, right? Mm-hmm. So he has a show
Yeah.
called Brain Games.
No, that's Key.
I don't know which one it
The
is.
tall, light-skinned guy.
The tall, light-skinned guy? Yeah.
That's Key. Peele does all the horror movies.
Okay, so it's Keenan.
Yes.
Okay, so he has a show, although curiously enough, I've not really seen him outside on the advertisements, but anyway, that doesn't matter. He has a show also listed under the National Geographic logo. It's called Brain Games. And what it is they just find out like really bizarre talents people have. Like the one I watched one time, this guy could, he would stand outside of a theater. 27 to 30 people go in. He just met them all. They all tell him their name as they're walking in. He literally remembers everybody's name on the way out. He speaks to them one by one on the way out. He calls them by name.
That's scary.
It's bizarre. But they talk about how the brain operates, how he's able to do that, cognitive skills, and what you're able to do. Because everybody could do it. It's just, number one, we don't believe we can. Number two, we don't know how to operate our brains, our tools, in order to accomplish this. So I find it very interesting. And I think that from a family standpoint, it'd be something great to sit and watch.
And what's it called?
It's called Brain Games.
Okay. We'll have to watch that.
Yeah, Brain Games. It's family friendly. There are 8 seasons.
Really?
Already?
Yeah. Let's have a look. There's 8 seasons.
When did the first season come out? Oh my gosh.
Well, 2011 to 2020.
Really?
Yeah, so
I've never heard of this show.
Yeah, Brain Games.
Okay.
Brain Games. I've watched probably better part of the first season.
Okay.
And I keep it on my watch list. And whenever I have downtime and stuff like that, I always kind of pull it one. But it's one of those things where you can't put it on while you're working. Like we all work from home now, right?
Yeah.
This is not when you're going to be able to do that because you got to pay attention.
Okay.
So I have like YouTube on the background when I'm working because I'm I'm not paying attention to it, but it don't really matter because I could just rewind it. This, you're going to want to pay attention.
Okay.
And it's very intriguing, but it's called Brain Games.
Okay.
All right. So on to number 2.
All right. Number 2 for me, if I had to pick a number 2, it would be...
You can do them both because I wrote 2.
It would be the Proud Family. That was something that was really popular when I was growing up. Like, mind you, keep in mind, I'm 25. So for all of my 93 to 95 born people, the Proud Family, That's a Raven, Lizzie McGuire, like, that was our jam. So I like to watch the Proud Family usually at night, like when I'm winding down. And surprisingly, I was so shocked because it felt like the Proud Family was on every day at a certain time. And only to, like, realize that there's only maybe 2 or 3 seasons of the Proud Family. There's not a lot of seasons of the Proud Family. But it just felt like there were, like, so many episodes when it was actually on TV at the time. So, but I recommend the Proud Family. I think it's just a well-rounded show. It's animated. It's the family scene, the mom, the dad. The main character is Penny. She has siblings and a grandma. And it's just pretty cool. The different episodes, they touch on different subjects. And I just like the Proud Family.
I kind of watched it from the peripheral as you guys were watching it, but I never really got into it. But, did you know that not only is the Proud Family series on Disney Plus, but the Proud Family movie?
It is, because the movie was on there before the series was.
Okay.
Because people was like, wait, why is the movie, where's the series? Because people was like, oh, the Proud Family movie's on here. That means the Proud Family's on
Everybody's
here.
Everybody's looking for the series, yeah.
We was like, where is that?
Yeah.
I couldn't find it.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
So that I would recommend that. And for all my Beehivers and Beyonce lovers, if you didn't know, fun fact, Destiny's Child and Solange, they did the intro to the Proud Family. So that intro song,
really?
They did that song.
Oh, I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. Proud Family, early 2000s, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it still stands up, though. I think in terms of black family structure,
yes,
it's hilarious because some of the characters are over-exaggerated, but we all have Listen, I grew up in a time period where...
We love this hand motion, even though no one can see you.
Well,
no one can see.
It's because I'm trying to get your attention. There's something very important. But no, I'm just kidding. I grew up in a time period. I want to say it still exists. I'm going to be optimistic and say it still exists. Although we don't see it as much, I'm optimistic to the end. But when I was a kid, up until the time I left to go to college, see, I left when I was 17 to go to college. So I'm talking about 17 years at my mom's house. You literally could interchange anybody's aunt with your aunt, anybody's grandmama with your grandmama, and almost with the same person.
Yeah.
Like literally the same rules. You couldn't run in nobody's grandmama's house. Like, that was a rule. Like, it was no slamming doors in nobody's grandmama's house. If you thought you was going to put your feet up on somebody's grandmama's table, you was about to lose your feet. I don't know any grandmama that would have been like, oh, that's okay at my house. It was literally the same grandmama. And that's what the Proud Family kind of reminds me of.
Yeah.
We would go places. Listen, I had a cousin. She was older, like my mom's age, but she was our guidance counselor at school when I was in high school. She literally would check on me every day, like see if I was in class and that kind of stuff. Because the first time I wasn't, she was going to tell my mom, and she was going to get me. So it was like I had a mother at school.
At school.
I apologize. That sounds terrible. I apologize.
Well, it wasn't terrible, but it was one of those things where you knew that you were going to be held accountable.
Yeah.
And I could not listen. When I was on the football field, and that really was the thing. If you were a football player, when I played football, and I'm going to make this really quick. If you're at school and you get in anybody's trouble, everybody told your coach. And the Lord help you at football practice because you will run. Now, this is before all this child safety stuff. You was going to run.
Before child safety.
You were going to run until you almost pass out. You was not going to want it.
Before child labor laws and safety and regulations.
Let me tell you, listen, I never known anybody to not walk off the practice field. But what I'm telling you is, it was going to be the day of reckoning at practice. Do not skip class. Do not do any foul language. Do not be running in the hall. Just don't do anything a teacher didn't tell you to do. And if you went against that and they told the coach, friend,
not friend,
not friend,
you're going to have a really,
Diane.
really rough day. So anyway, my point was I like the Proud Family because it reminded me.
The Proud Family, yeah.
Yeah, you can see all that. It's like,
Everybody has a sugar mama. Everybody has what was the uncle name on the Proud Family? He was played by Cedric the Entertainer and Bobby, Uncle Bobby. Oh man, he was funny because he was like this really janky singer that dressed like a pimp.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, it's just it's funny.
Yeah, it is, and we all need to get laugh time to time. All right, Nia, what's your next one?
All right, so this one is probably my next one because the soundtrack, for some reason, is probably like one of my favorites that Disney has produced. I don't know why, but I really like the soundtrack. The Jungle Book, not the animated one, but the live-action one. I have a favorite. That's
You're
fine.
not talking about the bootleg one that they put on Netflix?
No, that was
no.
terrible.
No.
That's not Disney either.
How does that even happen?
Licensing
Yeah.
Yeah.
and loopholes.
Yeah. All right, so obviously we're talking Disney Plus. So, okay, go ahead. The live-action Mowgli.
Jungle Book.
Jungle Book.
Because what's on Netflix is called Mowgli. What's on Disney Plus is called The Jungle Book.
Oh, okay. Good clarification. So, Jungle Book, live action.
Okay, this is family friendly. It's a classic and it's a comedy. Like I said, I need a laugh when I'm agitated. So, if you're like me and you overthink and you need a laugh or like occupy yourself, this is great.
And it's really like, I like The Jungle Book because one, Coda will watch it because he likes animal movies.
So, you have to explain who Coda is.
Coda is my dog. He is almost 2 years old. He's a lab, but of course, he has a lot of energy. But he will watch animal movies, and Jungle Book has a lot of good action scenes in it. And
Yeah.
I think honestly, and it's just me, Jungle Book was to me what I thought the live action Lion King should have been in terms of execution and animals and stuff. Because to me, like the Jungle Book animals, you could tell they were live action, but it just, it wasn't
did a great
as,
job. Yeah.
It was more continuity.
Yeah, it was very seamless.
And I thought, those were my expectations when live action Lion King came out. But anyhow, I like the Jungle Book. I like the animals in it. I like the execution of the story in general. I thought it was really good.
Listen, you guys know, didn't we see that in theaters?
Which one?
We went to
We did?
I'm trying
Jungle
to
Book?
think. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm almost certain we did because
Yeah.
I get so excited about these live action ones when they're coming out. And you're right, Jungle Book was one. I even like to watch the original animated Jungle Book
Yeah.
because I like the songs. I like
Yeah.
all the original songs. One of my favorite parts about this Jungle Book live action was Baloo. I thought he was funny. And I thought the animals, you remember the animals like the squirrels and the
Yeah.
muskrats and that kind of stuff while he was trying to get the honey down the first time. They were like,
Yeah.
oh, he's going to kill himself.
He's not gonna make it.
He's not going to make it. That was hilarious. It was like a community of these animals come out to be, oh, he's going to kill himself.
Look at this human die.
Yeah. Now, it got pretty intense in some areas. So
Yeah.
the animation was that good because none of us, but I think a little kid could have gotten afraid of
Shere Khan.
Shere Khan.
Yeah, especially when
Because
he
it
killed
got
the
pretty
wolf.
sinister
Yeah.
in some areas. Because when he
He
tossed
threw that
that,
wolf off the bridge.
yeah, that was a little sudden.
I was like, wow.
I was like,
This took a turn.
Mid-sentence.
like it was really
Wait a
quick.
minute.
Like you didn't see that coming. I was like, was that in the book? That was sudden. So yeah. So just be aware of that. But overall, like Nia's saying, it is a really good family movie, and it's a feel good movie because in the end. There's a happy ending.
Plus, it's action, and it's like a decent time period, so you can watch it in one sitting, and you don't have to do anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So your second one was
Proud Family.
Proud Family movie and Proud Family series. So
Yes.
you can do both. Then your second one was not Mowgli. Why do I keep saying that? Mowgli, which is the Netflix kind of knockoff situation.
Yes.
We're talking about the Disney Plus live action
Jungle Book.
And just so you know, the original Jungle Book also is on Disney Plus in case after you watch that, you want to go watch the original.
And part 2 is on there.
So I'll guarantee you're not going to guess my next one. But both of you guys loved it.
We both
This is why I
loved
wanted
it?
to do 2 because I was like, one of y'all are going to do this. You probably don't know it's on Disney Plus. Otherwise, one of y'all would have said it.
Wait, we love it, and it's...
Yeah. So I'll give you a
Can we
hint.
get a hint?
The
Yeah.
girl who was on Sweet Life of Zack and Cody that I was just asking about, the young Asian lady.
Yeah.
What was her
Brenda
name?
Song.
Right. She's in this.
She's in this movie,
Yeah.
and we loved it.
Can we get a genre?
No.
Wow.
College Road Trip.
Oh, I didn't watch that recently. You should have said, like, Raven was in it, or Martin Lawrence, because I
if I'd
actually
have
just
said
watched
that,
it
then you're
not
going
too
to be
long
like,
ago.
you would have definitely known. So,
Yeah, have you seen that movie?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. College Road Trip. This is circa 2008. What was the one before this one? Because he did 2 movies about college, taking her to. It was 2, right?
No.
Are we sure?
Yeah.
What am I confusing this with?
I don't know.
I thought there was something else. Anyway, the one I'm talking about now is on Disney Plus. It's called College Road Trip, and it stars Martin Lawrence and Raven Simone. And basically, well, the description reads: an overachieving high school student decides to travel around the country to choose the perfect college. Her overprotective cop father decides to accompany her to keep her on the straight and narrow. And it's hilarious from start to
finish,
end
yeah.
because they get in all sorts of
Crazy foolishness.
I can't believe I almost said entanglements. I literally almost said it. I'm like, why is this in my mind?
I'm
Gotta
gonna
Lord
be
have
listening
mercy.
to the
I am
song.
going to replay this specific part of the
No.
podcast over and over because no one else is going to believe that my dad knows what an entanglement is.
Well, let's pretend like I don't. How about that?
Or like,
No, I'm not listening to no song. That's foolishness. So okay, anyway, back to Disney. So I like it because it's funny. And Martin is one of my favorite actors. I loved him since he started doing Martin, since he was doing, back in the day, House Party and all this other kind of stuff with Kid Play. He just got better. Bad Boys. Plus he got, more money and more, these bigger roles.
Yeah.
But he's just solid.
Big
And it's
Mama's
funny.
House. Big
Big Mama's House is one of the ones that we love. Nia watches Big Mama's House 2 all the time. So it's
and the
it's
3. The 3 was actually pretty good.
the 3. Okay. Oh Lord, the other guy dressed up. Okay, I
Because
remember.
he had a son.
Yeah. Okay. So College Road Trip with Raven Simone and Martin Lawrence. I don't think I've steered you wrong here. If you just want comedy, it is rated G. It's rated G. So you're not going to get Bad Boys Martin Lawrence. You're just going to get Cop Dad Martin Lawrence. You don't have to worry about language or anything like that. It's family friendly and it's comedy.
Yeah.
So it's very clean. You don't have to worry about language. Obviously, no sexual situation, anything like that. No drugs, anything like that. It's completely rated G. Now, the other one, I'm going to give you a trilogy.
You're going to come out with like 6 movies that you presenting here, man.
Well,
I know
I
you
did
did
2
write down 6
because
movies.
I did 2 each because I figured one of y'all was going to steal one of mine. But I just these are good, and I think you can catch one of these.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a trilogy.
It's a trilogy.
This is a
Okay.
trilogy, but not your common trilogy. It is a live action,
Okay.
an animated,
Okay.
and there's a part 2. So there are 3 total movies for this particular movie.
It's an animated, a
Right.
live action, and
Has a
there's a
live
part
action.
2. Is the part 2 live or animated?
Animated.
Has a live action come
And
out?
you guys have seen every one of them.
We've seen every one of them. Live action, animated, and there's a part 2.
Right. It's animal related. It's focused on animals.
What is it, Lion King?
Right.
No. Lady and the Tramp. Lady
There
and the Tramp.
is a part 2.
There's a Lady and the Tramp 2.
I have not seen Lady and the Tramp 2.
Yeah.
No.
I thought we all saw that.
We saw the live action. Like, I know it's like generally based on like their puppies,
Yeah.
but I don't have any.
Not that it wasn't great. I didn't think it was as good as the original Lady and the Tramp, but that's the original Lady and the Tramp to me ranks up there with Snow White,
Yeah.
Cinderella, the original Maleficent, these types of films. Lady and the Tramp is like Dumbo and these, it's just the original Disney stuff.
Yeah.
And if you're going to watch the nostalgic, the originals, Lady and the Tramp's got to be in there. It's a good story. It's a lot of good music, and I just love the remastering of the artwork. I probably, since we got Disney Plus, I probably have watched Lady and the Tramp like 3 or 4 times. Wow. Because I just love it. I love the accent of that little Scottish terrier. I love the older dog that, is like...
Oh, reliable, we used to say.
I just love it. This film was originally done in 1955.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was that old. No,
it was originally done in 1955.
Sorry, that came out quickly.
Yeah, it's definitely a classic. It's a classic. So that's for round 2, guys. So let's jump on over to round 3.
Okay, so since we pulling out 2s over here, my round.
Well, I told you before you could did
my first of my 2 for my last of round 3. I actually just watched this movie day before yesterday. Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh yeah.
And that's a feel-good movie for me because I've always liked the character Esmeralda. She, like, to me, before there was like a Tiana, was the more relatable. She's not even a princess, but character for me because she's a brown girl. And I like the story. I love the music in that movie. I think they have some great music in Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Classic movie. Music.
Yeah, and as someone who's like watched that movie growing up and then being able to thankfully go to the Notre Dame Cathedral before it was burned down, it was just like full circle for me. Yeah. So watching it now, it just kind of like brings it all back and puts it together. So I love that movie. I think that's a good feel-good movie, of course, because that has a happy ending. And my second one for my last
Well, before
round,
you go into that one, you know why I like the Hunchback?
Why?
Because the little guy wins.
Yes, the little guy.
The underdog wins. Good prevails, and it's just a good day.
And the statues are hilarious.
Hilarious.
What are they called? They're not called statues. They're not gremlins.
I'm gonna say gargoyles.
Gargoyles.
Yeah,
they're funny.
Yeah, I can't get past George from Seinfeld. Every time I hear it, I always say, "Oh, that's George from Seinfeld." But now the other thing before you go to the next one, there's a Hunchback 2.
Yes.
So they're both on Disney Plus. So
they are.
FYI, guys, there's 2 out there.
And then my second one, which Daddy, I'm sure you may appreciate that I appreciate this movie to a degree.
It's gonna be pirates.
No. I actually just watched this movie because I had never seen it until recently, and you talked about it on another podcast.
It's one of my favorites.
It's one that you like. You talked about it on another podcast, and then one day I was like, I should probably go ahead and watch this movie. And it's A Wrinkle in Time.
Yeah.
And so...
Oh, yeah.
To me, the story... Like, you have to watch it all the way through to get it. Like, the moral of the story is... Because if you don't, you're just going to be like, this is a weird movie. Because that was me initially. But I will say it's a feel-good movie, and it's a good movie to watch with your kids. Because, like, if you're ever trying to introduce the concept of, like... the importance of being able to control your feelings and your emotions and your thoughts and your meditation and stuff, and you're trying to introduce that to a kid, that's a great movie to do that with, because they do it very well with a lot of different scenes and scenarios and characters throughout that movie.
Yeah.
So that is just something that I thought was really good, and I understood that by the time I got to the end of the movie. So I was like, oh, okay, I see what they did here. So it's kind of like intro to meditation for kids on Disney.
Well, okay, I can appreciate that. I think for me it stood out because I was much further down the path. So for people who understand that language, you have an appreciation for certain modus operandi as it relates to manifestation, things like that in your life. And this movie really spoke to concepts that are really coming about in certain circles on the earth now. And so when I saw it initially, I was like, oh my God, this is great. Who's making a movie about this? This is really, progressive.
Yeah.
But if other people see it and they're like, I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah.
So some people are not as far down the path, and some of these concepts are beyond. But then some people just saw it as just
a cool movie to watch.
And it was fantastic cinematography.
Yeah.
It was really well done. But in terms of the concepts and what they were talking about, I do think it challenged your idea of what is in terms of religion versus spirituality and things like that. But I really, really liked it. So I'm glad you saw it. And it also was a really good movie for, I think those 3 kids. That was their breakout type of film, and I thought they all did really good on that. Mm-hmm. So, and it's a family movie.
Yeah, family movie, rated G. A little bit of adventure action in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one. All right, Miss Nia, what's your last one?
All right, my last one you two probably know nothing about.
Oh.
So, because this is a movie I watched with Mommy, and I didn't know that it was a Disney movie. And it's a part 1 and a part 2, but it's Twitches. And
first of all, I watched that with Mommy, and it's been coming out since
Isn't that
I was
their
a
sisters?
kid. Yes, Tia and Tamara Mari. It comes out every
How
Halloween.
do you think we don't know
Disney
about Tia?
because you never talk about it, and you never.
Oh,
say
you
anything
know
about it.
I've seen. First of all,
I used to have marathons with Mom on that.
I was here first.
Okay, let her explain
and
what her deal is.
The movie came out before you was born. Both of them.
All
Okay,
right.
and
All right, so what do you like about it?
okay, so for one, that's me and my mom's movie. I'm going to say that to get on your nerves, in case you were wondering. And secondly, if you like a little bit more magic, it's kind of like an action adventure, but it's more so like on the adventure side. Mm-hmm. I like it a lot. It's very movement. And I like magic movies. I like anything that's like more so fiction. Yeah. And it has a really good storyline that you can follow.
It's family oriented.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is the brother in that?
No. You're thinking about 17 again.
That was a great
where
movie.
the grandparents turn young again, and Tia Tamara Mari and their brother.
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah.
What's Taj Mari? He's in that movie too.
Yeah, listen, Twitches, I remember both of you guys watching that with your mom, but Amani, she watched it, and that's kind of how I became familiar with this. So that's when I saw it initially. But yeah, Tia and Tamara, oh Lord, what was the name of the show they were on years ago?
Sister?
Yeah, Sister. So when they first came into our homes years ago, it seems like every time they would pop up on something, we would try to catch them, whether it was in the movies, whether it's TV or something, and support it because, they were good, and there was limited amount of stuff we would see with us in it, and they always really represented us well.
Yeah.
So that definitely is a good one. What's the name of it again? Twitches? Mm-hmm. Isn't there a Twitches 2 or something?
Yeah, that's what I said. It's the 1 and a 2.
So both of them are on Disney Plus?
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right, circling the home plate here, coming around third, heading home. This is my last. Actually, I have 2 here too, so you're going to get.
You overachiever. Jesus.
Yeah. Well, okay. I had 2, and then I was going to give an honorable mention before we leave, and I'm going to let everybody do an honorable mention.
You have 2, but so you have 3.
Well, here's
say
what I'm
it
thinking.
is. You have
here's what
3.
I'm thinking. There's so much on Disney Plus, and you know how much I love Disney. I just could not choose between some of these, and we wanted to give the audience the max for their stay. So you're getting maximum amount for listening to us. So we're going to give you all these movies so you can write them down, and you'll have more than enough stuff to keep you until we're on again. So I'm going to give you two. This one, neither of you have seen. And the history, I don't think you've seen. The history here, if I'm correct, I'm almost a little afraid now to say this, but for some reason, I tend to think this was, I may be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll have to correct myself on the Facebook page. But I'm going to tell you what I think.
Okay.
And I should have sussed this out, but it just occurred to me. The movie was from 1949.
Okay.
It is animated.
Okay.
And when I was a little boy, one of the first movies I ever watched from Sunday Disney was The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad.
Oh, I've seen that.
You seen it?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it is hilarious.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
It's an adventure. It's funny. It's just really, again, the quintessential Disney stuff. What I was going to say is I think the pool ride in Fantasyland used to be Ichabod and Toad. I don't know. For some reason,
I don't know.
For some reason, I
remember.
think that was something different. And I could be completely wrong. But anyway, this was from 1949. It is considered somewhat of a thriller, because it's, that's the way they have it listed. But it's rated G, so obviously it's animated. You're not going to get anything crazy. But I absolutely love it. I think there's comedy in there, it's action, there's all sorts of things. So there's one for you. And here's the other one. I've mentioned this one before. I've watched it probably twice this year. Also an old one, and it's called Bed Knobs and Broomsticks.
You know, I always get that mixed up with Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Well, how?
I don't know. Like, I get those two movies confused all the time.
No, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang has, oh man.
Dick Van Dyke?
Dick Van Dyke, yeah. Dick Van Dyke is not in this movie. This is, what's her name? She played on Murder, She Wrote. Angela Lansbury. Angela Lansbury is in this movie. And there's a kid. I can't think of the name of the kid. He is hilarious. Because they all have these English accents. And the way he asks questions and make these assumptions is hilarious. You wouldn't think you would sit and watch people traveling around on a magic bed. But and here's the other thing. Of all the movies we mentioned, this is the only one that goes from live action to animated back to live action.
Yeah.
It's kind of like...
Well, of the ones we've mentioned, yeah. I was about to say Mary Poppins does that too, but we didn't mention Mary Poppins.
Right. It plays off the kids' imagination. This came out in 1971. And, it's pretty... It's a pretty cool movie. If you've not seen nostalgic Disney, or your kids haven't, these are some really good ones to kind of start them off on, because it's kids in the movie.
Yeah,
they'll be able to see other kids doing things, and I think it'll hold their attention. It's a good family sit down movie to watch. That's gonna do it for all of our top threes. But if you've got,
are you sure, Daddy?
It is. But
I don't have honorable mentions.
I am gonna do the honorable mentions. I was gonna let y'all do y'all's first. Well, I do have. I've got one honorable mention.
Okay.
Love how you had to count that out.
Let me just tell you, because this one, let's say, for example, of all the ones we've given you, and I know this is not going to happen, but let's just say you've seen most of them, and the one or two that you haven't seen, you're not excited about. Mm-hmm. Okay? Let's say you're that listener. Ooh. I don't think they exist, but let's just say. What I'm going to give you is guaranteed to be not a showstopper, but it's going to be a heart warmer, and it's going to be one that you're going to love. I dare say anybody's not going to like this one. So I'm going to let you guys go first. Do you have an honorable mention? You can always throw out, Dead Man Tell No Tales.
Oh my gosh. That's definitely not an honorable mention. Well,
I watched it like 2 days ago.
I do have an honorable mention. My honorable mention is Princess and the Frog. Just because that's an all-around feel-good movie, too. Essentially, the moral of the story is you can work hard, and get what you want, but don't leave out the magic. You gotta have to have the magic and the work ethic. And anything is possible. So right now, we need some more work ethic, and then maybe the magic will kick in, and we'll get to some better places in life. But for the purposes of watching movies that feel good, Princess and the Frog is a good one.
Great cinematography.
Yes.
Or animation, I should say, and songs.
Yes.
When you listen to at least one of those songs with Mama Oda, you're gonna be singing that. And who's your favorite character in Princess and the Frog? I already know. It's between two characters.
Okay, and then who do you think
It's between oh my God, Ray. And what's the alligator's name? Lewis.
Well, no, I do like Lewis, but no. Well, Tiana
obviously we all
is
love
first,
Tiana,
and then Charlotte, and then Ray, because Charlotte is funny. I'm sweating like a sinner in church.
I love Ray. They could have did a spinoff of just Ray and just talking Cajun. That would have just been wonderful.
That would have been hard to explain, considering how the movie ends.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Who's your favorite, Nia?
Surprisingly enough, I like the Voodoo Man. I like the
Dr.
Voodoo Man in all
Facilier.
of his scenes.
Yeah. He's pretty awesome when it comes to this castle stage plays, but for Halloween, they're not doing it this year, of course, but he's always a favorite, Dr. Facilier. Okay, so do you have a honorable mention?
Any Aladdin's or Dr. Dolittle, because I feel like anything.
Oh, those are great.
Right?
Yeah.
I love both of those.
Anything with Eddie Murphy is worth a minute of your time.
Yeah.
Therefore.
Yeah. Well, some people will fight you on the Haunted Mansion, Eddie Murphy Haunted Mansion.
Why?
I don't know, but I loved it. I absolutely loved that movie because some people think it's corny.
Good movie.
I think it's great. I like the Dr. Dolittles, and what was the other one you said?
She said Aladdin. Eddie Murphy is not in Aladdin.
No,
Well,
I
he's
just
not
mean
Aladdin.
like honorable mentions. That's what came to mind.
Aladdin, you can't go wrong with the live action or the animated. I mean,
I'm
it's
surprised
feel
people
good.
go back and forth about Haunted Mansion.
Some people are really sticklers about certain things, but
Jim
listen.
Evers from Evers and Evers Real Estate. We want you to be happy for Evers and Evers.
I like, why I like, and probably why I like pirates and stuff so much. I like dark movies. That's why I like Star Wars. I like Dark Rise. I like all of that. It is such a way to
be in the story.
To be in the story, you are hyper focused where the light is, and everything else around you is not really happening.
That's good. I wasn't expecting you to say Dr. Dolittle because Dr. Dolittle is like, I have Dr. Dolittle VHS tape.
Yeah.
And then when the second one came out, I think it came out on DVD. We got it somewhere around here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, cool beans. All right, so here's one. This is my last one, then we're going to shut it down. So, if all else fails to get me into a good mood, all I have to do is watch anything related to Disney Christmas. And I'm automatically
I know what you talking about
a good mood. I love Samantha Brown when she would do, decorating Disney. I can't remember the guy's name, but they did a show years ago called, one of these deals where they're preparing for the holidays at Disney. What's eating at Disney and these sorts of things. Anything behind the scenes at Disney. Well, there are a number of shows, documentaries that Disney Plus has that talks about that. A day at Disney, like you're working as a cast member, stuff like that. But what I'm going to offer is my, as we head out the door here, is decorating Disney holiday magic. If you've not been to Walt Disney World during Christmas time, it is pretty much indescribable. You have to literally be there to get it. But it is, in a word, is fantastic. And to understand the colossal effort that these people put into decorating the parks and do it so magnificently and so quickly for the guests, it is quite the feat. And you just you have an appreciation for what Disney does and the way they do it for the guests. And a lot of times, listen, a lot of times, if you are a planner and you're planning family reunions, people come and go. Unless something's wrong, nobody ever says anything. If you're a wedding planner, same thing. If you're a mom or dad, you cook every day, people come to the table, they eat and they leave. Nobody ever really says, "Oh, how awesome is this? This is fantastic." But if the spoon's not in the right place, or if the flowers are not set up, then they notice that. My point is, right now we have a lot of time to notice a lot of things, and no better time to feel good. The holidays usually always feel good. I get it that some people don't have the best memories around the holiday because of personal things. I get that, but Christmas itself is an excellent message. Mm-hmm. And Disney, the way they do it, I don't know if anybody does it better. We've had the opportunity to be in the parks for Christmas Day, and it was fantastic. And when I watched Decorating Disney Holiday Magic, it is about 42 minutes long. They did this in 2017, so it's relatively recent. I think it's just a way for you to escape for a little while for 42 minutes and get the best of Christmas from Disney. So there's that. All right, guys. Well, that is all that we have for our Disney Plus movie therapy for you, our listener. Hopefully, how many did we list all together? I did 1, 2, 3, 4,
How many
5,
did
6.
you list all together?
I think we should start there.
7.
Okay.
But you know what? I just thought one of you guys were going to take one of mine, so I needed to have a backup. So anyway.
Are you calling us thieves?
No. I just know a lot of times we like some of the same stuff.
Nice save.
Yeah. So again, we giving you guys quite a
Plethora.
a plethora, a nice little Rolodex there of movies that will take you for the next, 30 days or so. I don't know what your schedule's like. In the next 30 days, you'll be able to get around to some of these. And just leave comments on our Facebook page. Which ones did you like? Which ones were we hit home runs? Which ones maybe we were a little off? I think you'll like all of them, to be honest with you. We do, and we hope that you will. Now, don't forget, again, to please subscribe to our blog, which is mydisneybrain.com. We're going to kick back into our giveaways starting on this weekend. So today's the 27th. Our next giveaway, if I can grab my calendar real quick, our next giveaway will start August 1, which is this coming Saturday. So we've given away 2 really nice books so far. One is a Star Wars encyclopedia, which is pretty awesome. We've got 2 more of those to give away, along with some Yoda stickers and posters. And then we have a crafts book, Disney crafts book giveaway. We did that. So just check us out on Instagram. That's where the giveaway will be announced. So make sure you're following us on Instagram, My Disney Brain, also on Facebook. And continue to listen to My Disney Brain. Make sure you share our link with a family member or a coworker or a friend or spouse, whoever needs some cheering up. I know you know some folks that like Disney. Share our podcast with them, please. We will certainly be grateful. Guys, thank you again for joining us this week. We look forward to seeing you or talking to you next week at My Disney Brain. For me and the girls, we're out. Have a good day.